They don't tell you the fight for your life starts after you get diagnosed. They don't tell you that surviving the meds might be the hardest battle you'll ever face. But I'm here to tell you. Full disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm sharing my personal survival story. If you're struggling, please talk to a doctor you trust or make use of the resources provided at the end of this podcast. I'm Jess Faulkner, and this is Just Jess. You're listening to episode 27, Mental Health Meds and Mayhem. We are talking about the med merry-go-round, side effects, withdrawals, polypharmacy, and survival. So some updates. My book, Reborn from the Ashes, is live, and you can now purchase it off Amazon for Kindle, paperback, and hardcover now. Of course, every day I read it and find little changes in it, so just know that this is my first time publishing a book myself, and the first time Ace Callahan has worked as an editor, so we are just trying our best to make you all something you can appreciate and get use out of. Something like a love project. Maybe not that. Wrong turn of phrase. Anyways, I am working hard on local collabs right now, which means spending 3 hours making promotional content just to share it on local Facebook groups. I might expand to further places because Sumter is pretty small, but we shall see how it goes. The merch drop has been successful. I already have orders that I am getting filled, and I am repping my own merch as well. Let me know if you want any of the sick bitch summer merchandise. You can get hats, crop tops, t-shirts, and sweatpants. For more pricing info, check out my website and the socials. TikTok at the Just Jess Podcast. IG at the.jess.Faulkner, that's Faulkner, and the Facebook page for Just Jess is Just Jess. So my ferritin levels are low, and I have low iron stores in my marrow. Mentally, I'm tired, I'm focused, I'm writing out the manic energy I have, but I feel it dying down now, thankfully. I am excited about things to come, though. Very excited and hopeful, so in a weird place of tired but hopeful. Honestly, if some iron infusions can give me some more energy, I'd be set. So I'm kind of hopeful for that as well. Health-wise, I'm feeling tired. I'm restless. I've been manic for a while. I'm struggling with my sleep, but I'm still showing up every day, even when it's ugly and hard. Time for some noteworthy news. June is PTSD Awareness Month. The purpose of PTSD Awareness Month is so important too. It's an opportunity to educate the public about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, a mental health condition that can develop after someone experiences or witnesses a traumatic event. The month focuses on recognizing PTSD and raising public awareness about issues related to PTSD. It also aims to reduce the stigma associated with PTSD and help those suffering from it find support and treatment. PTSD can affect anyone of any age who has experienced the traumatic event. This includes not only military personnel, but also civilian survivors of events such as sexual assault, serious accidents, natural disasters, and other traumas. Some ways you can participate during June are by spreading awareness. Learn about PTSD, its symptoms, and available resources. Use social media to share facts about PTSD, promote resources like the Veterans Crisis Line, and share personal stories, with permission, using the hashtag PTSD awareness. Make a pledge to raise PTSD awareness online through the VA website. Participate in events by looking for local events, such as walks or runs, or consider joining a virtual walk to raise awareness. Encourage open conversations, show empathy, and let people know you're available to listen. By increasing understanding and promoting open conversations, PTSD Awareness Month helps reduce the stigma surrounding this condition and encourages individuals who may be struggling to seek help they need. So, some statistics for you. You know, I love statistics. 6 out of 100 people, which is 6% in the US, will experience PTSD at some point. Women are twice as likely as men to develop PTSD. About 50% of people with PTSD never seek treatment. PTSD symptoms can show up right away, or even months, years later. PTSD isn't a weakness. It's your brain surviving the unspeakable. If you're living with it, you're not broken. You are healing. I'll include some additional resources at the end of this podcast, so skip ahead to the end if you need those now. I honestly won't mind. Let's get into the episode. They hand you a bottle of pills and call it help, but what they don't hand you is a warning label for the hell that comes with it. You guys, I have gone through so much bullshit when it comes to meds because I've been on meds for 20 years now. I am 34 years old and I have been on meds since I was 14. So I'm going to talk about some of the things I've gone through with my medications. Some recent med wins for me have been Zofran. Zofran saved me during chemotherapy and pregnancy, and when my gallbladder was needing to come out. I popped that med for about a year every single day, and it helped. It also tasted delicious, dissolved under my tongue, and was quick working. So anytime anybody's nauseous or deals with nausea, I definitely suggest Zofran. Ativan. Ativan saved my legs. After trying gabapentin, Lyrica, and even oxycodone, all of it had nothing that helped like the Ativan. I'm able to make it up and down the stairs, which is so nice. Now, if only I could skateboard, I'd be a happy camper. The Clonidine patch saved me from living in permanent fight or flight mode, which has been really nice. I never noticed how tense my body was until I was able to feel what relaxed felt like. I've also gone through the crash, where I went off all my meds after my birthday, my 34th birthday, because I'm bipolar, and sometimes I think that I don't need any meds, especially when I'm manic. I even went off my life-saving ones. It was a rough time. I was not doing well mentally, obviously, because I cold turkey from all of my meds. It was terrible. But this is something I do every 5 to 7 years or so because I need a hard reset. I was also managing 17 prescriptions at once, which is overwhelming. I didn't even know what some were for. Doctors, maybe 4 or 5 at a time, were just throwing different meds at me without fully explaining things to me. But I thought, hey, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not meant to understand. I just know 17 prescriptions was a lot. We aren't talking 17 pills. We're talking 17 prescriptions. So the survival lesson I learned there, take your meds. Cold turkey can kill you. Quitting cold turkey may cause withdrawal symptoms as well. Suddenly stopping your medicine may also worsen your depression. Here are some of the possible effects of quitting too quickly. You get sick. Antidepressants continuation syndrome, which also called antidepressant withdrawal, occurs when a person abruptly stops taking antidepressant medication. Many people who experience antidepressant withdrawal feel like they have the flu or the stomach bug. They may also experience disturbing thoughts or images. You set back your treatment. Stopping medication can set back your treatment plan. It can increase the time it takes to feel better, or it can actually cause your symptoms to worsen. you contemplate suicide. Not being properly treated may increase your risk of suicidal thoughts. It also increases the risk that you'll act on those. The most common health problem linked to suicide is depression, says the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Other symptoms also get worse. Stopping an antidepressant might worsen other symptoms associated with the depression, such as headaches, pain, or insomnia. Additionally, untreated depression can make it harder for you to manage other health problems. Other symptoms of antidepressant withdrawal include anxiety, fatigue, nightmares, trouble sleeping, depression and mood swings, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal cramping, flu-like symptoms, headache, and sweating. Some people with depression stay on their medication indefinitely. Others are able to stop taking it after a period of weeks or months. The best way to stop taking your antidepressant is to slowly taper the medication under a doctor's supervision. This involves slowly lowering the dose of medication until you are completely off of it. Talk to your healthcare provider about incorporating the following lifestyle changes to improve your overall health, lessen the symptoms of depression, and prevent it from reoccurring. Exercise, meditation, getting plenty of sleep, not abusing alcohol and drugs, eating healthy balanced meals, and reducing stress. No two people will respond to quitting antidepressants in the same way. Doctors have no way of knowing who will have withdrawal symptoms and who won't. Talk with your doctor and don't gamble on your health and wellness. Medication adherence is important, and it means taking your prescriptions in the right dosage at the right time, in the right way, and in the correct frequency. This is most important for controlling ongoing chronic conditions, successfully treating temporary illnesses, and maintaining your overall health and well-being. When your physician prescribes a medication, they will most likely designate how often you should take the medication and for how long. This recommended dosage and duration of treatment is based on the amount of medications scientists have determined your body needs to adequately combat a specific disease or illness. This is why, depending on your condition, you may need to take a prescribed medication once a day or multiple times a day for 1 week, a few months, or maybe years. People may believe they can stop taking prescriptions for a variety of reasons. They may start to feel better, not understand the directions, experience uncomfortable side effects, not believe the medication is working, can't afford to fill their prescriptions, or simply no longer wish to take the medication. However, you should always have a discussion with your physician before stopping a medication. Medications are prescribed with specific instructions for a reason, and stopping some medications suddenly can have serious consequences. It's a good idea to review with your physician all medications you're currently taking on a regular basis. This includes prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, and dietary supplements. I also make sure I include the fact that I use Delta-9 here in South Carolina. And if I used any other kind of recreational drugs, which I don't, but if I were to, I would also definitely include that in the information. It is helpful. Your physician will help determine whether your dosages need to be adjusted, if you need to start taking different medications, or if you need to quit taking a medication. If your doctor determines you can stop taking a specific medication, he should let you know if you can quit right away or if you need to gradually reduce your dosage to help your body adjust. Now time for some medicine survival horror stories. I gotta start with my number one, hydroxyurea. Hydroxyurea, or HU, was the worst medication I've ever taken in my life. Nothing has ever made me feel like death like hydroxyurea. I was vomiting constantly and having to carry trash bags because I never knew when it was going to hit. I couldn't eat. Even the kids' menu portions were too much. I lost a little bit of weight, but I didn't look, chic, sick, just deathly. The diarrhea was so sudden, you had to be careful coughing or sneezing, and I felt like I was decaying. I wanted to die on HU. It was the worst experience I hope to never have to do again, but I may have to again. The Jackify. Jackify definitely was a huge improvement over the HU, but it turned my legs to jelly and it hit them so bad. Uh, it just, I had to get a wheelchair because the pain got so bad in my legs. It also made my platelets spike. I had to give up walking long distances, things I used to do without thinking, probably riding my skateboard, and I started rationing my trips up and down the stairs. All right, the grossest moment of all of this is definitely pooping myself while on chemotherapy. Mid-sentence. No warning. No saving it. Just pure survival hell. And that's what it looked like. Especially when you're vomiting. You're out in public. You're vomiting. You're squeezing your abdominal muscles. You're trying not to pee yourself because you've popped out a couple kids. And now you're trying not to poop yourself because you have diarrhea like you've never imagined before. Here's what no one tells you about meds. Side effects usually hit before the benefits, and they are ugly, and they like to stay around. It's rarely 2 weeks. It's more like 6 to 8 weeks, if you're lucky. When I went on Vraylar and this last new batch of meds, it took me literally 8 weeks of close to hell before I felt better. Managing meds is a full-time job. You have to worry about refills, side effects, tracking doses. And Google will believe your side effects before some doctors do. That's so frustrating to go to a doctor and to report a side effect of a medication when you just start taking a medication. Oh, I have this rash. This rash is not from that. Well, it's the only thing that has been different, and Google says that I could have a rash from that. It's just frustrating when you're not being listened to. And, you know your body. The sound and smell of survival. Let's see. The sound of survival to me is the beeping of an occluded IV line. Over and over. Trapped in a hospital for 5 days. Just the constant beeping of the IV line that needs to be reset, and I can't touch the button, so I have to wait for one of the nurses to come into my room to touch the button for me. Through all hours of the night, the beep haunts me. As far as smell, the sharp metallic smell of saline flushes. Every time I smell it, it pulls me back into a hospital room where blood and survival are the only things that matter. I know that if I'm smelling saline, 2 things are happening. I'm having a stroke and losing my mind, or they're about to take blood, or push contrast, or do something, and they're clearing my veins because I'm in a hospital. Let's talk about relationship survival. When you're going through your own roller coaster, it's hard to hitch your ride to somebody else who's going through their own ride, and then to have 2 kids tag along with that. Meds throw me on a roller coaster. Some days, holding on to Josh and the kids is all I can do, and thankfully, they hold on to me right back. They can make friendships hard. People don't understand that I go through med changes quite a bit, and that sends me on those medication, emotional, and mental well-being roller coasters that can take like 2 months for it to settle and for me to get off the ride a better and healthier person. Some people can't take it though, and that's cool. I'm just happy, and I have my core people, and that they're used to the motion sickness that comes with me. Some mental health hard truths. Hard survival truths. I have self-sabotaged. Sometimes I've stopped meds early. Sometimes I took too much, hoping it would fix things faster. Sometimes I took too much, hoping just to feel something else. None of it worked. it made things worse. The biggest lie they ever told me? Lower your platelet level and you'll feel better. Bullshit. There's gaslighting from doctors. Oh, these aren't known side effects. Sure, dude, I'm living it and Google agrees with me. What would I tell my younger self? This isn't permanent, babe. Eventually you'll find something that works, but you have to fight for it. My perfect medical soundtrack, Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. I hate you. Because sometimes surviving feels exactly like that. I fucking hate you, and I wish you would die. It makes me violently angry when I see you alive. That's how I feel. Biggest fuck you to the system? Coming in prepared, armed with questions, research, and survival fire, refusing to be dismissed. Being a loud and educated advocate for yourself is where it's at, and it's the biggest way you can give a double bird to the system and say fuck you. What's my dream mental health system? Gosh, what would that look like? Maybe 1 pill a month or a patch that handles it all. Less meds, less often. Not what I'm living now. 3 to 4 med rounds a day. But a girl can dream. I wrote this poem and I titled it Colors of Mental Health. Red and blue, wide and round, 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, 16, all the shapes and colors. Eat them all, jump down the hole, fix what doesn't fire. Fingers crossed they work together. Close your eyes, swallow your hopes. Now I feel grounded in my survival, in my little routine every day to have my medicine. So it goes either 2 ways, either 3 ways, let me be honest. It goes either I make my medicine, Josh makes my medicine, or I forget to take my medicine altogether, which doesn't happen too often. But if I'm making my medicine, I open up my cabinet and my medicine is just all across one bottle lined up next to the other, and I just go one by one and I put them all in like a little dish, and I chew on my B12 gummy, and then I swallow all my pills. But Josh often makes my medicine for me and brings it to me, and then I do the same. I do my B12 gummy first, and then I just kind of slowly take all of my pills. So every day I take my meds. I really enjoy my giant vitamin B12 chewy. Let's see. I have to swallow after swallow after swallow to get all the pills down. But it's grounding. It's a reminder that even messy survival is survival. Sneaky peek at episode 28 next week on Just Jess. I'm getting personal. Actually, I shouldn't be funny about that at all. Okay, so next week, I am getting personal. I'll be sharing a letter to my birth daughter, Lizzie, the one I never thought I'd get to write to the daughter that isn't even mine. But the time has come. As someone who is diagnosed with a cancer I will die with, I feel like now is the time to record an episode just for her, in case I'm gone before she can ever come and find me. This way, it'll always be out there about how proud I am of her and how much I love her. If you've ever had a piece of your heart living outside of your body, this episode will be for you. All right, goodbye, my bitches. Goodbye, my babies. Goodbye, my baddies. Listen, you're allowed to survive messy. You're allowed to survive ugly. You're allowed to take your meds with shaking hands and angry tears. You're allowed to live. Swallow your hopes if you have to. Just promise me you'll stay. Love each other. Love yourselves. I love you. Resources for listeners today. I have NAMI Helpline. You can find that at www.nami.org/help. Psychology Today, Find a Therapist. You can find that at www.psychologytoday.com/US/therapists. And the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can call or text 988 or go to 988lifeline.org. Information for this podcast today comes from Mayo Clinic, the National Institute of Mental Health, IntegrisHealth.org, World Health Organization, Harvard Medical School, the National Alliance on Mental Health Illness, NAMI, and Healthline.com.